Welcome back to D-Mop Garage. We're working back on the 57 oval beetle Ophelia, and yes, I can see quality control expert Bonnie over there. Bonnie, what are you doing over there? What are you up to? Are you checking Dad's work again? Hey? Are you checking Dad's work again? I don't know. It looks like you've got a sock. Where'd you steal that sock from, missus? Hey? Where'd you get that sock from? Off you go. Go on. All right, so today what we're doing is we're going to get onto the bonnet or the hood, depending on where you are in the world. This thing is not looking too good. We've got a hole here. For some weird reason, I think these are supposed to be drain holes, but you can see they're both rusted. This side's rusted pretty good too. We've got a hole right through here, and they've gone and tried to do a repair along here too, which is, yeah, screws aren't going to cut it, I'm afraid. So yeah, this whole section here is pretty bad. And then we've got some cracks up the top here, and we've got some damage under here, and a hole there. Yeah, this will take a bit of time to get this thing up to scratch. So yeah, we might as well just start on this and get crack-a-lacking. So let's start cutting some rust down and start firing up the welder. So we'll start chopping this section out and we'll fabricate a piece to weld back in. Yes, Bonnie? What do you want? Don't eat shells. Excuse me. You can see what I have to deal with here. Yes. Okay, you go and eat a shell. That's good calcium. Yes. Okay, let's do some cutting on this guy. Rust. Right, so we're going to have to work, well, I'm going to try to get some rust treatment going on inside here, but also we're going to have to do the inner skin. Yeah, we'll get that done.
I found a fossil.
Oh, apparently someone's found a fossil. Show me. Is it a fossil?
Well, it's inside of a rock and it looks cool.
It does look cool, doesn't it? Yeah, you kind of broke it open. It could be volcanic rock.
Yeah.
Oh, cool, as you were. Okay, so we have made a template off the rusted piece. Just put it on the sheet over there on the table and just chopped it out with a grinder. And it's not going to fit perfect, but this is what the fine tuning is all about. So we can just sort of place it here. It's going to be close, but obviously once you look at this now, you need to work out exactly where we're going to bend this piece to get that curve going. Yeah, I've got a little bit of fine tuning just there. It's actually pretty close. This part here needs we'll just get the texture on that. Okay, so we need a little bit of fine tuning just there. We might actually just bend that a little bit first. Yeah, we're a little bit out, that's all right. We'll just bend this on here. Like that. And that might be too much. It is too much. Soft enough metal to be able to just manipulate it. So that's getting there. A little bit hot here, but that's okay. And our angles are out. So that wasn't quite the right shape when I cut it. So what we're going to have to do is just modify it a bit. All right, we'll trim off this corner. I'm going to use the linisher just to grind that corner off. Okay, we'll just see if we can get this to fit a little bit nicer down the bottom there. It's not going to be perfect, but that's okay. We'll leave this bit, but we can just fully weld that up, that's fine. All right, we'll chop that little section out. Righto peoples, let's try and get this piece welded in. We've got our primer on there. We're going to just try and fandangle this a little bit better so that we're Got the radius is correct. I think we'll just have to tack it and then move along as we go. Good. All right. The rest of it, well, we got our curve right, and that's the main thing I was wanting to focus on. If you look down the side of it, it's now we'll just flap this back and we can just fill up all the holes and move on to the other side. Let's go. So we've given this a little bit of a clean up. I just took a bit of that extra paint that was on, that the sandblaster had left on. And yeah, we're pretty much ready now to weld this little piece on. That's going to live just in there like that, and then we can tackle the other side as well. There's a few little, you can see a few pinholes through there, but we can plug those up. That's okay. And then I think that's it for the welding. Oh, there's a couple of little spots on the bottom of this, and then we can also strip the other side of it and potentially just get it shot in primer. We might as well just put it aside and have it sealed up. So righto fellas, well, we have this section to put in. I've actually put some more paint in there, just let it dry, and we can still flush it from inside once it gets burnt a little bit. But anyway, we've got our piece ready to rock and roll, and it'll take a bit of fandangling to get the levels right, but I can start just by putting a tack here and then using the fine screwdriver, just bend up where it needs to go to get it all right. And then obviously a skim coat over the top. So I'm just filling with my finger. It's all pretty low actually. We'll just take it back out and might just have to be a little bit straighter there. Try and bend it and get it a little bit better on the angles. So that's feeling better. We'll grab the gun. Kind of don't want to use gloves for this because it ends up being an issue. We don't want it to sink in, so right there's right where we want to put a tack. Okay, now we've got a tack. Now we can start playing the game. That's all good there. Right, so this has got to come up. That's good there. How crazy is that for a MIG weld? Look at it. It went into a loop. That is totally bizarre. Haven't seen that before. Looped on itself. Anyway, we want to bring this out.
Hook.
A bit low there, a bit low here. So a lot of times you can actually see it too. Yeah, we're good there. low here. And that is pretty good. Right, I will let that cool down, then we'll give it a flat back and then just finish up the holes. Now, yeah, you could TIG this, absolutely, but just a small repair, and I'm not going to fire up the TIG just for this, so, and it's on a curved area where you're not in the middle of a panel where you're going to get major warpage going on, so that's good enough. Right, let's get it ground back and go from there. So we have this part finished. It will obviously need a bit of filler on it. I've just gone over it, and you know, there's been a few little dints and bits and pieces. We're not going to really know the extent of it until I put some primer on it. But one of the next things we have to do to this is this this really bad attempt at someone trying to repair this. Now, it is supposed to have a very slight step in it, and that's where the handle goes. So you can see, I think they've gone and tried to braze it, but it's so bad. And all the area here around it's all smashed in, so I'm going to cut it out and make a piece to put back in and see if we can just use the press to just press this little indentation that it's supposed to be. So I have a new handle here, so this is going to give us our, I suppose, diameter for what we have to make. So yeah, we'll just have to, because you're going to see it. I was going to leave it as it is, but you can see that just looks terrible. And there's really no way to try to fix that. So, yeah, it's just going to be easy for me to cut it out. So let's chop it out and see how we go making a new little piece to fit inside it. Right, let's get a piece of metal and see how we go. Oh, so we've chopped that piece out. Now, I have done a little bit of experimenting. You can see here, that's just a little press that I've done. That was the first one that I did, and a little bit too small of a radius of a circle. So this one here is bang on. If you have a look, that's right about where it needs to be, like that. Now, that was just a scrap piece of metal. Now, how I pressed it was using a socket and the press over here. And you can see what I've done is I just found something that was going to be the opposite side. And that just, actually, this is the wrong one. Socket's back over there. Anyway, I went like that and basically just boop, 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 put the metal on here and pressed it down, and that made the part. So let's do one more, and I think that one will be the one we're going to use. Beautiful. There you go. One little pressing, and that's all it needs to be. Doesn't have to be any more than that. All right, we'll take that back up. Righto, fellas. So you can see I've just taped up this chrome handle. I don't want to get splatter on it, but that's our new little pressed piece, and I've got it obviously bolted so that everything is going to line up. And let's get it tacked, then we can take the handle off and fully weld it in. Let's go. Okay, I think we're good. All right, take the handle off. Okay, we'll just give that a very light flat back. Beautiful. All right, we'll flap that back again and call it good. Righto, guys. So there we have it. It is done diddly done. Obviously a little bit of filler on that and we'll be good to go, but we've got a nice little pressing there. And yeah, happy with that. Excelente. All right. Okay, guys, that's going to do it for this episode. Unfortunately, we have also some sad news. Scooby, Oven Boy's quality control expert, and the one that kept me in line most of the time up there, she sadly passed away. She was 14, had a great life, and we've put her to rest on the property there. And it's going to be sad not having her around, but we've passed the torch over to my crazy dog, Bonnie, that you guys know, so she's going to be looking after us and making sure we're doing some decent work sometimes. But thoughts for Oven Boy, and we'll definitely miss Scooby, and we'll catch you guys in another episode.